What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Money back with another video, and yes, I am back. For those of you who don't know, I was out for a couple weeks because I was out on a mission trip with my youth group. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my last video. So for those of you who didn't know or didn't see the video, that's why I've been out. It's because I've been away on a mission trip with my youth group. So that's why. But I'm back now. So yes, I'm back, and woo, baby. We gotta talk about something now. First, just let me say, happy 4th of July. God bless America. Money in the Bank is just around the corner. Money in the Bank is this Saturday. So predictions for Money in the Bank are gonna be uploaded tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But today, we gotta talk about something important. Today, we gotta talk about Wrestlemania 40 behind the curtain. Now, yesterday, WWE posted the behind the curtain of Wrestlemania 40, which is, it was basically a documentary on just the whole story behind Wrestlemania 40. Everything going on with The Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth, that whole thing. Now this, it was originally supposed to come out in April after WrestleMania, but I forget what happened. I guess it was just complications, or I guess they just wanted to wait. I forget what exactly happened, but it was supposed to come out in April, and then it just didn't come out. Now, finally, here in July, it's out, and it was a great documentary, guys. Like, let me tell you, oh gosh, like this, it was a great documentary, and it really just highlighted everything, and yeah, guys, I'm telling you, it really proves that WrestleMania 40 is one of, if not the greatest WrestleMania of all time, and has one of the greatest build-ups of all time. Like, guys, this whole story and the whole build-up between Rock, Roman, Seth, Cody, it's unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Like, absolutely crazy. So it was basically just all about that, you know, when they talk about, you know, it was really supposed to be, they were building up Roman versus Cody ever since WrestleMania 39 when Cody lost. But then what happened is then The Rock just came into the picture because they said, like, back in 2021, it was the Rock and Nick Khan, Nick Khan's the president of WWE, they kind of had a conversation about, you know, if Rock and Roman would be a possibility. And then, like, it was set in stone. Rock has said this before. It was set in stone, really, that it was supposed to be Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 39 at SoFi Stadium. But I forget the exact reason why. He just said, you know, they just couldn't execute it maybe in time, or they just wanted to wait. Like, but it was supposed to happen. Rock and Roman was supposed to happen last year, WrestleMania 39. But I think it was just some complications, and they just wanted to wait on it. So then came Cody and Roman. Then they said, all right, well, how about WrestleMania 40? We have Rock and Roman. So, but it was already kind of building up to Roman and Cody. But then when The Rock came back in the fall of last year, that's when the conversation started happening. Like, all right, well, like, guys, it was, in my opinion, it was one of the hardest decisions, I think, like, to make. Because, like, Triple H was really like, all right, like, what are we gonna do here? Because then what happened was then the Royal Rumble came along. Rock had just became a member of the TKO board, and Endeavor, the combined of WWE and UFC, that whole thing happened. TKO. Rock became a member of the TKO board. It was like a lot of stuff was going on, right? And then, of course, The Rock came back at the beginning of this year, and he called out Roman Reigns. And that's when everyone started buzzing, like, oh, are we getting this at Mania? Are we getting this at Mania? But then, you know, the Cody thing, the story was still alive. Then came the Rumble. Now, here's the funny thing, right? At the Rumble, Cody was told that, look, we don't know, like, if you're going to face Roman. I'm pretty sure what it was is that because what I heard was that, like, they weren't sure. It's either Triple H told or someone told Cody that you're not facing Roman at WrestleMania, or it may. I'm pretty sure what they said is that it's a possibility it might not happen. All right, so we don't know. You're still gonna win the Rumble, but we're not sure if you're facing Roman or not. So, you know, like that. But but it was kind of unscripted though. So for those of you who know, after Cody won the Royal Rumble, he pointed at Roman Reigns. Now, I don't think he was supposed to do that because it wasn't guaranteed that he was going to face Roman, because Rock and Roman was kind of building up. So, but Cody, so he kind of took it upon himself to point at the sign. But it's because he also wasn't sure. And he just, he wanted to point at Roman because, it was, some people say he went in business for himself when he no, shut up. He did not go in business for himself. You have to understand the pressure that he was going through that day. I mean, and he wasn't told that he wasn't facing Roman. It wasn't clear. So, he wanted to point at Roman. So he pointed at Roman, right? But then what happened at that next, on Raw, Seth Rollins came out and said, how about you face me? And said, remember that whole thing, right? And then, but the fans were like, no. But then what happened with The Rock came out, then that Cody said, and then on that next SmackDown, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania. Then The Rock comes out, the place explodes, right? Everyone's so happy for a moment. Then social media, we want Cody. Social media was, you know the whole story. Yeah, the fans were mad because they felt that The Rock was completely stealing Cody's spotlight. Cody worked so hard to get this opportunity, and Rock just took it from him. Really, Rock? Yeah, so that's why everyone was upset, because they felt like Rock just completely stole Cody's spotlight. Who does The Rock think he is, right? And it's so funny because Triple H said, if Rock and Roman would have happened at any other time, it would have worked. It would have worked. But just Cody was so hot right now, and fans were just so set on Roman and Cody that they just wanted to see it. They wanted to see Cody finish his story. So then it was kind of set. All right, we're getting Roman versus The Rock. So I feel like that's just the funny part, is that because it was set to have Cody versus Roman, but then it was set to have Roman versus Rock, and then it goes set back to Roman and Cody. So they kind of were going back and forth a little bit. But here's where, I already love The Rock. I love The Rock, right? Here's where, you have to respect The Rock, right? You got to give credit where credit's due. You got to give respect to The Rock right here. And I'll tell you why, right? So, The Rock, there were two options, right? Because the fans were booing The Rock, he sucks, right? The fans were pissed. They wanted to see Cody. # we want Cody. Trending for 72 hours on social media. Then it came up on Raw, and the place exploded saying, we want Cody, right? So, it was up to The Rock, because look, this is The Rock's big match, right? And The Rock, he was talking to Triple H, Nick Khan, and then I think a guy named Aria, I forget. He was a guy in TKO or something. Yeah, the president TKO, I think. I forget his name, but Rock was talking to them, and he's like, look, we have two options. Because The Rock wants to do what the fans want, all right? The Rock wants the fans to be happy. So, The Rock says we can either truck through this and just kind of ignore those fans, right? And just, we could give them a great match between Rhea and Roman. It's gonna be awesome, but we're gonna have to just truck through those, we want Cody. We're gonna have to just ignore all that, right? Yeah. But then, he said, option 2. We could give them what they want. Give Roman and Cody. And, but come up with where The Rock's so involved in it. He's not, yeah. So we could give him something else we could give him Roman and Cody, but add me into it in some way. So it's not, yeah. So, and being the respectable man that The Rock is, he chose the second option. And that's where you got to give respect to The Rock, because guys, if The Rock really wanted to, he could have kept the match with him and Roman. If The Rock really wanted to have the match with Roman and he didn't care about what the fans wanted, they would have had Roman and Rock at WrestleMania. if The Rock really cared that much about himself, he would have had the match with Rock and Roman. He would have had him and Roman. It would have happened. But The Rock wanted to do what the fans wanted. So he said, let's give him Roman and Cody. So I just think that's where you got to respect The Rock, because he gave them what they want. When if he really wanted to, he could have just kept the match with him and Roman, because it was his choice, really. If he really cared that much about himself and had that big of an ego, he could have just kept the match for himself. But he wanted to give the match to Roman and Cody. So he wanted to give the fans what they want. So that is where you got to give hats off to The Rock, because he could have just did it for himself and kept the match with him and Roman, but he thought it was the best idea to give it to Roman and Cody. So, and you know what? It's just such a great story, man. And that's basically the whole thing. And then, you know, the Rock then came up with the idea of the final boss. He called Nick Khan and the other guy, and he's like, how about this? Rock 10.0, final boss. They're like, let's do it. Yeah. So really, you know, because the Rock said, all right, let's give Cody and Roman, but let's add more to it by adding, like, the final boss, The Rock, into it. Or let's have this tag match, right, where the tag match WrestleMania Saturday affects the main event WrestleMania Sunday with Roman and Cody. So again, you got to give respect to The Rock, because he not only gave the fans what they want by agreeing that, all right, yes, we should have Roman and Cody, but then he also came up with the final boss gimmick, the final boss and the tag match that, like, affected which bloodline rules, right? So that's where you got to just give respect to The Rock, because he could have just really did it for himself and kept the match with him and Roman, but he knew the right thing to do was to give it to Cody. Yeah, so, but he added to it by introducing the final boss and the tag match, right? So they came up with this whole big story that, guys, let me tell you, it worked. Like, so, you know what? This really was one of the, and that's basically the whole thing. And then they talked about, you know, WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday, you know, and which is so awesome about Cody, man, is that, you know, if the fans didn't like him, if there was no "we want Cody," he wouldn't be champion right now. The story would not be finished if it wasn't for the Cody Crybabies. If it wasn't for the Cody Crybabies, Cody would not have finished the story. So you know what? So Cody's forever thankful for that, because if it was any other way, Cody would not have finished the story right now. So, you know, it's really, so it's just it was a great documentary. That was basically, I just wanted to talk about some of the key points, some of the stuffs that I really liked of it. So I just wanted to talk about the main parts of it. But yeah, it was a really good documentary, WrestleMania 40 Behind the Curtain. Make sure you go check it out. Awesome. And yeah, you know what, guys? It really was. They were set to have Roman and Rock. And you know what? I was wrong, right? Because I thought that this was all kind of a part of us. I thought Roman and Rock was just a tease to get the fans behind Cody. But no, it just all kind of happened on its own. Rock and Roman was set in stone. But then the Cody Crybabies came out, and Cody was back in the equation. So yeah, so you know what, so I was wrong, because I thought that Rock and Roman was never going to happen. I thought that was just a decoy to get the fans behind Cody, but no, I was wrong. It was going to be Roman versus Rock, but the fans completely changed this situation, and that's also what The Rock said. He's like, look, we're giving the power back to the fans, because that's where the power should be. The power should be with the fans, you know. So again, that's just very respectable of The Rock. I honestly love that, and yeah. So he could have had his match to himself, but he knew that the right thing to do was to give it to Cody. But again, though, look at what we got out of it. We got the final boss. We got this new Bloodline 2.0, which, by the way, because, again, I wasn't able to make SmackDown reactions to talk about, like, Jacob Fatu and all that. But don't worry, I'll talk about that tomorrow in Money in the Bank predictions. But I thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe for more. And, yeah, guys, just one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. One of the greatest build-ups of all time. And an incredible story. And it truly marked the beginning of a new era in WWE. So it's incredible. I thank you guys for watching. I love all you guys, and C Money is out.